Most men think bargirls are just selling intimacy. That's the surface transaction. The real product is emotional regulation. And the reason this game works so well is because most men don't realize they've outsourced their emotional state until they're already dependent on it. This video isn't about villainy. It's about analyzing systems that keep men stuck. And the quiet truth is that systems don't require bad intentions to produce bad outcomes. First, let's talk about what emotional management actually means. Emotional management is the act of regulating another person's mood, confidence, anxiety, and sense of worth. This is not an occasional or accidental effort. It is deliberate and consistent. And for many bargirls, this happens instinctively through the sheer volume of reps they get with men. Emotional management is knowing when to soothe and when to withhold. It means knowing when to praise and when to go quiet. It's know which moments to reassure and which moments to introduce just enough doubt to keep someone engaged. In places like Pattaya, this isn't manipulation in the dramatic sense. It's emotional labor. Just like bartending, dancing, or entertaining, emotional management is a skill developed through repetition, feedback, and financial incentive. The goal isn't to deceive you. The goal is to keep you emotionally predictable. This benefits a bargirl in numerous ways. Once you are emotionally predictable, you become a more reliable resource. She knows your spending habits, what you will pay for, how much you will pay, and your spending patterns. She also knows what behaviors will trigger you, what to say when you grow uncertain, and which topics are dangerous for her own narrative. And biggest trap with this is most men have never had their emotional state handled this smoothly before because, in normal life, no one is paid to care how they feel. Bargirls develop this ability from necessity. It doesn't come from romance. Many bargirls grow up in environments where male emotion is unstable, explosive, absent, or transactional. Fathers leave. Boyfriends disappear. Men give affection one moment and withdraw it the next. Girls raised in these environments learn an early, crucial lesson. A man's feelings determine his behavior. If he's happy, he provides. If he's anxious, he clings. If he's angry, he punishes or vanishes. Over time, attention becomes currency. Reassurance becomes leverage, and warmth becomes a tool. This isn't cruelty, it's adaptation. By adulthood, emotional calibration isn't something she thinks about. It's automatic. She reads micro-shifts in tone, posture, spending behavior, and energy because her survival once depended on it. Men think they're paying for pleasure. What they're actually paying for is emotional stability. There are three emotional states that almost all bargirls will actively manage. This system works because it targets three specific emotional pressure points that govern male behavior. First is your ego, compliments, admiration, deference. You're funny, you're kind, you're different, you're not like the others. This isn't flattery for its own sake, it's reinforcement. Your ego is stabilized first because it lowers your defenses. A man who feels respected stops scanning for danger. A man who feels chosen stops questioning motives. Ego validation opens the door. A man who feels chosen feels generous. Second is your anxiety. This is where hot and cold behavior comes in, delayed replies, sudden distance, unclear availability, selective attention, not enough to push you away, just enough to keep you alert. An anxious man seeks resolution. He wants to restore harmony. He invests to bring things back to how they were. This isn't chaos, it's calibration. Too much distance and you disengage. Too much warmth and you relax. The sweet spot keeps you emotionally active. And third is your guilt, family stories, financial hardship, moral framing. You're not just helping her, you're helping her parents, her child, her future. Guilt reframes spending as responsibility. Once guilt enters the equation, men stop asking whether something is fair and start asking whether they're being good enough. When ego, anxiety, and guilt are balanced correctly, men become extremely manageable. Men mistake this for connection because they are not used to emotional responsiveness. Most men move through life largely unseen, invalidated, and emotionally ignored. They are expected to self-regulate, to cope silently, to earn affection indirectly. So when someone tracks your moods, adjusts her behavior to soothe you, laughs at the right moments, reassures you when you're uncertain, and mirrors your emotional state, it feels intimate. Being emotionally handled feels like being emotionally understood, and understanding feels like love. But there's a critical distinction most men miss. She is responding to your emotions. She is not sharing hers. Once this system is in place, the feedback loop traps men. You feel better around her. You feel worse away from her. You begin to associate relief with proximity. You increase your investment. Your emotional dependence deepens. Your tolerance for ambiguity increases. Your judgment weakens. This is not romance. It's conditioning. You're not addicted to her. You're addicted to how regulated you feel in her presence. Here, why distance, conflict, or money problems break the spell. Emotional management requires energy and proximity. When distance increases, regulation fails. When stress rises, patience thins. When money tightens, incentives change. When the system breaks, men don't feel disappointed. They feel abandoned, because what disappears isn't affection, it's emotional stability. That's why the shift feels sudden, cold, brutal. Here's the reality check. This doesn't mean your moments were fake. It doesn't mean you were stupid. It means the structure was not mutual. If someone is managing your emotional state for money, you are not in a relationship. You are inside a system. The takeaway is the moment you outsource your emotional stability, you surrender your leverage. If you've ever felt calmer, more confident, more alive around one woman than anywhere else in your life, ask yourself a hard question. Not what she did, but what your life was missing before her. If this hit uncomfortably close, comment below. If you want clarity instead of comfort, subscribe. Stay sharp.